Hi, folks. This is another edition of my show, The Stuart Dahl Show, starring myself, Stuart Dahl, coming to you live from my house right here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, where the current temperature is about 18 degrees, and we should be on our way to a high of 23 degrees. And there's supposed to be a few showers ending this afternoon, and then mainly cloudy, and a 30% chance of showers, and maybe a risk of a thunderstorm and pretty much the same thing for tomorrow, for tonight. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be mainly sunny and that. And it looks like it's should be relatively sunny or mainly sunny throughout the week, but you never know. The weather people can change their mind like that. Now let's just get right into my show. As y'all probably, for you people on YouTube that have been, probably been following the civil war in Syria that's been occurring for the last 5 or 6 years now. There's been a truce or ceasefire, whatever you want to call it, in place for the last week. But I'm going to read you an article. It's titled Truce Teeters After Raids on Aleppo Syrian Troops. Syria's ceasefire is on the brink of collapse Sunday after a U.S.-led coalition strike killed dozens of regime soldiers in Aleppo, a city which has been was hit by its first raids in nearly a week. The barrage of strikes on rebel-held districts in Aleppo risks regarding regaining battlefronts there and could be the most serious threat to the ceasefire so far. A halt to fighting around Aleppo and the delivery of desperately needed humanitarian aid were key components of the fragile deal that took effect on Monday evening. The ceasefire's co-sponsors, Russia and the United States, have traded accusations over its fraying, which, with relations strained even further, with the U.S.-led raid killed scores of Syrian soldiers on Saturday. Russia said the situation in Aleppo is especially tense on Sunday, blaming the instability on rebels. The amount of shelling by rebel groups against positions of the Syrian government troops and of residential areas is increasing, said the Defense Ministry spokesman Igor Konstantinkov. And sorry for the mispronunciation, but it's really hard for me to, pronounce names that are, so bloody hard to pronounce at times. But anyways, where was I? But the French foreign minister Jean Marc Al. Sorry for the mispronunciation again, but it's really hard for me to pronounce certain names that are a mouthful to me. Accused Bashar al-Assad's government of undermining the ceasefire. We must not forget that it is first of all the Syrian regime, and it is always the regime which has jeopardized the U.S./Russian ceasefire, he said in New York. On Sunday was the deadliest day of the truce so far, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, with 10 civilians killed in areas where the ceasefire was set to take hold. The evening strikes on Aleppo killed one woman and wounding others, said Britain-based Monitor, which is could not be identified could not identify who carried them out. An AFP correspondent in Aleppo's Kamar al district, and sorry for the mispronunciation again, saw several wounded children after the raid. 9 people, including a child, were killed Sunday when a pair of barrel bombs hit hit on Sunday. But yeah, but um, but you kind of I'm not gonna go on about the story, but you kind of get the gist of what I'm saying. Is there's people that are so desperate, like there's like literally like the Syrian city of Aleppo, like it barely has any running water, electricity, the basic necessities of life type of thing. And yeah, it just really like it really goes to show you that like this civil war has gone on too long, and there's been so many people that have been killed or wounded, mainly like civilians, like women, children, men, whether it be either by their own by Syrian government troops, or by whoever else. And all these rebel groups that are trying to vie for control in Syria, it I think in my mind creates a really unstable situation for the millions of people that have been displaced, not just in Aleppo but all over Syria in general, that because of all this constant fighting and that. But yeah, oh, what else? As y'all probably, for you WWE fans that may not know, the WWE's Raw brand has a pay-per-view coming up. It's called WWE Clash of Champions. It'll be held at the Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is the first WWE event under the Clash of Champions uh, chronology, replacing Night of Champions, and is the first Raw brand event following the second brand extension in July of this year, 2016. And looks like it's shaping out to be a good pay-per-view. There's some pretty much all championships on Raw are being defended, like the WWE Universal title, the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship, and the WWE Raw Women's Championship. And the first match is for the WWE Universal Championship. It's the current champion from Mario, Quebec, Canada, Kevin Owens, and from Davenport, Iowa, Seth Rollins. And these two have just been Rollins and Kevin Owens have just been bickering at each other and just fighting with each other, and it's just starting to brew up and boil over type of thing. You know what I mean? And then another this is for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship. It's the current reigning defending champions, The New Day, of Big E Langston, Kofi Kingston, and or Xavier Woods, versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And for you two that don't know anything about Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, they've been wrestling for a number of years. They've wrestled in Japan and that, where they honed their tag team skills and that. And I think this is shaping out to be an awesome tag team championship match. And then the other championship match that night, it'll be for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. It's the reigning defending champion Charlotte Flair versus Sasha Banks. And then, again, this has the makings of a really physical match. You know what I mean? Like the Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins match. That's going to be absolutely physical, and absolutely the WWE Raw Tag Team Championship match is going to be really physical too, because you got the New Day, you got the Muscle, Biggie Langston, and that. Oh, what else? Uh, other than that, I'm just chilling at home, doing my own thing, type of thing, around the house. And this afternoon, it'll be on for people that have that are on YouTube that have Shaw cable. It'll be the reigning defending Grey Cup champions, the Edmonton Eskimos, taking on the 1-10 Saskatchewan Roughriders, and the Riders really need to actually do something instead of having their head so far up their ass. Like, you know what I mean? And sorry for the language, by the way, but it's kind of warranted anyways. But sorry about that, folks. I had a really good. Sorry about that, belch, folks. I had a good breakfast this morning, and unfortunately, I put some garlic plus some seasoning in it, so that could explain, my belches type of thing. So sorry about that, folks, ahead of time. Anyways, what was I gonna say? I had a relatively, good evening yesterday. I went to hang out with, one of my good buddies, Jonathan Moline. And for you people that are on YouTube, go, all you have to do is just type in type in the search engine Jonathan Moline, and go check out his YouTube channel. He's got some he makes awesome videos, and I've been in some of them, like for you people that are on YouTube, I've been in the Battle Plan skit, I've been in the New Year's Eve video, just videos like that in general. And that what else? Other other than that, it's relatively kind of crappy weather outside today, but it's expected. What do you expect? What else? Here's some CFL scores from week 13. The Hamilton Tiger Cats beat the Montreal Alouettes 20-17 Friday night. And in the two games yesterday, first it was the Calgary Stampeders taking on the Ottawa Redblacks, and the final score was 48-23 for the Calgary Stampeders. And then in the other game, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers won 46-29 over the Toronto Argonauts. And in the last game to cap off Week 13, is this afternoon at about 3:30 p.m. It'll be the reigning defending Grey Cup champion Edmonton Eskimos taking on the 1-10 Saskatchewan Roughriders, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders have the worst record, probably in the league right now, and just in general, not just in the Wild, but in the league in general. But whatever. And I'm sorry about that, folks. Again, I'm so sorry. Okay, I think I'm done now. Anyways, what else? Here's an article from from the Score app. It's titled Riders are looking to end their 7-game slide against the Eskimos. The Saskatchewan Roughriders will be desperate to give their fans something to cheer about when they host the Edmonton Eskimos on Sunday. Chris Jones and company have not won a game since late July and now sits 1-10 on the campaign after a 7-game losing streak, and it hasn't been for a lack of effort thought as the Riders lost by 3 points to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers on Labor Day weekend, then dropped their rematch last week by a touchdown. The Saskatchewan offense has struggled mightily during the side, as quarterback Darian Durant has only thrown 2 touchdowns in the past 5 games, and the team has topped the 15-point mark just twice during the losing streak. Edmonton comes in on a mini losing streak itself. It's dropped its past 2 contests. Mike Riley had a strong game in defeat last week against the Calgary Stampeders, going 35 for 45 for 432 yards and 2 scores. That being said, the 2015 Grey Cup MVP has been struggling in recent weeks after starting out the season strong. The normally reliable Riley threw 5 interceptions during a 3-game stretch in late August, from late August to early September, after throwing just 4 in his first 7 games. The slump has dropped the Eskimos out of the playoff spot in the West and now sit 2 games behind the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for third. So, if the Edmonton Eskimos want to make the playoffs and they want to defend their Grey Cup title, let me see, I think they maybe need to get their heads out of their arses and, actually do something. And I'm not taking anything away from Mike Riley. Like, he's a good quarterback, but it's just, him and the Eskimos really need to get their act together. Like, you know what I mean? And then, what was I gonna say? Yeah. Anyways, that's just a bit of news right now about the Rough Riders. What else? Here's some World Cup of Hockey scores from yesterday. Team Europe beat the United States 3-0. And then Team Canada beat the Czech Republic by a lopsided score of 6-0. Like, you would think, it would be such an exciting game. Like, I'm happy that Canada won against the Czech Republic. Like, even though I'm German Canadian and that, but it would be nice if the Czech Republic would have actually maybe put up a better fight, like, you know what I mean. Anyways, with that being said, on tomorrow there's 2 games of the World Cup of Hockey. The first one, it'll be Team Europe taking on the Czech Republic, and then Russia taking on Team North America. And then Canada doesn't have their other game till Tuesday against the United States. Sorry about that, folks. Anyways, and if the United States lose another game, they'll definitely be out of the World Cup of Hockey for sure. Sorry about that, folks. I had a bit of a dry cough there. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Here's some Bundesliga scores from yesterday. Oh, what was this? My favorite German soccer team, Bayern Munich, won 3-1 yesterday in their game. But right now, as it stands, Bayern Munich is now in first place on top of the Bundesliga standings, with Hertha BSC Berlin in second, and RB Leipzig in third, and then to round out the bottom would be FC Cologne or Borussia Dortmund. Sorry for the mispronunciation, but yeah. So yeah, the top three right now in the Bundesliga standings are as follows: Bayern Munich, Hertha BSC Berlin, and RB Leipzig. Anyways, pardon me. Anyways, and then Bayern Munich actually has Bayern Munich's next game is on Wednesday, September 21st at 3 p.m. our time. It'll be Bayern Munich taking on Hertha BSC Berlin, in which it should be a relatively good game, and that and then yeah, and then Bayern Munich's next game will be on Saturday, September 24th at 8:30 a.m. our time. Not because of the time difference over in Germany, because they're on Central European time right now. It'll be Bayern Munich taking on Hamburg SV. And again, it should be a relatively good game. It could be an exciting game. It just depends on how it all goes. Like, you know what I mean? And what else? What was it? Oh, and here are some NCAA football scores from week 3. And that I will start at the bottom. Arizona beat the University of Arizona beat the University of Hawaii 47-28, and then the other winners of the games in week 3 are San Jose State, California, Bayou, Nevada, Northwestern, Washington, Sanford, Oklahoma, Georgia, Arkansas, Florida, Army, Navy, Texas Tech, Troy, SMW. I don't know where that is, and then Lafayette, LSU, and then Texas A&M. And those are your winners from week 3 of the NCAA football. And in week 4 kicks off on Thursday, September 22nd, when number 5 ranked Clemson takes on Georgia Tech. And then on Friday, September 23rd, it'll be the University of Wyoming versus Eastern Michigan. And then in the other game, it'll be TCU versus SMU. And then in the other game, it'll be the USC Trojans versus 24 ranked Utah. And then Saturday, September 24th, it'll be Notre Dame taking on Duke, and then Michigan State taking on Wisconsin, and Purdue taking on Nevada, Rutgers taking on the University of Iowa Hawkeyes, and South Florida versus Florida State, and then Temple versus Charlotte, Alabama versus Kent State, Iowa State versus San Jose State, Minnesota versus Colorado State, Ole Miss, and then 23 ranked Ole Miss versus 12 ranked Georgia, and then Virginia versus Central Michigan, and then Virginia Tech versus East Carolina, and then Boston College versus Wanger, and then Connecticut versus Syracuse, Ohio versus Gardner Webb, and then Archon versus Alpha Chain State, and sorry for the mispronunciation, and then Cincinnati versus Miami, Ohio, and then Indiana versus Wake Forest, Massachusetts versus Mississippi State, Michigan, and then Michigan versus Penn State, and North Carolina versus Pittsburgh. And these are just some of the, I'm not going to go down the entire list of games for it. Those are just, just some of the games that'll be to kick off week 4 of the NCAA football season on starting on Thursday, September 22nd. And what else? And here's some here are your winners from yesterday's Major League Baseball games. The winners of these games go as follow: Houston, St. Louis, Toronto, Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego Padres, Oakland A's, Chicago White Sox, New York Mets, Philadelphia Phillies, Tampa Bay Rays, Pittsburgh Pirates, Cleveland Indians, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Atlanta Braves, the Cincinnati Reds, and the Boston Red Sox. And then, for you folks that don't know, the fourth and last game of this 4-game series between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox concludes tonight. And if Boston wins, they sweep the season series of that. And yeah, and as of right now, as the MLB standings look right now, in the American League East, Boston's the top 3. The Boston's in first in the AL East. The Cleveland Indians in first place in the AL Central. And then the Texas Rangers in first place in the American League West. And then Washington is in first place in the National League East Division. And then the Chicago White Sox in first place in the NL Central Division. And then the Los Angeles Dodgers are in first place in the NL West. So those are the teams that are currently in first place in their respective divisions. Oh god, oh god, oh god, what did I got? Ah, sorry about that, folks. I just let a river go. And I'm so sorry about that. What else? Oh my god, that reeks. What was I going to say? Oh, and here are some international friendlies. And that for you, it'll be on October 7th. It'll be the United States versus Cuba. And then the following day, it'll be Mexico versus New Zealand. And then Sunday, October 9th, it'll be Russia versus Costa Rica. And October 11th, the United States versus New Zealand. And these are just international friendlies, leading up to, yeah. And then on November 15th, which is a Tuesday, it'll be Germany versus Italy in an international friendly game. And in the other international friendly game, it'll be England versus Spain. And what else? And right now, this is these are World Cup qualifying games for the 2018 Men's World Cup, which will be held held in Russia next year. And that, what else? Other than that, there's not much else, much else to talk about. So, on that note, this has been another edition of my show, The Stuart Dahl Show. And for you young people, stay in school, stay out of trouble, and you'll do great. And and then also on that note, Auf Wiedersehen, bye bye, and just try to just stay cool, my friends.